Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to do something special. And what I mean by something special, we're going to go into story time mode. And I want you guys to guess. And what I mean by that is specifically, I want you guys to guess how this is a TV dinner stand, I think, right? This saved me money, made me money, and is now about to provide you with an amazing story. So go ahead and guess. How does this thing help me out in that scenario? What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cash, and today I have a lot of stuff going on right now. So I thought, why not? If I can't give you a current update of my life, let me give you something that happened in the past. Now, if you guys watched the last video that I did a story time on, was about taking a poo-poo in someone's yard. You know what I'm talking about? So it's actually a very similar story, and it's gonna probably make you guys laugh. And if you do laugh or enjoy the story, please leave a like and a comment, and maybe talk about a time maybe you had to use a TV dinner stand to your advantage. What I really wanted to do is just explain this story. So if you guys didn't see the first video, there was a job that I used to have. Obviously not gonna name the company, but I explained how the job works. It is you work for the bank, pretty much contracted by the bank to go to house. And while you're going to these houses, they want a specific amount of things. You're going there most likely because either they fell behind in their mortgage, they just refinanced or something, like something happened with the homeowner, or they stopped making payments, and you're going to go see if there's still someone living there, because sometimes that happens. I know a lot of people, they don't even know that happens, but people literally stop paying their mortgage, and not only do that, they just leave. They up and leave and leave the house abandoned, and then it rots. And do you think that, you know, what a Bank of America, Capital One, you think that these places, these big places, are gonna literally go and see if you live there? No, they're gonna hire someone else to do it. And that was I was one of the people that was hired to do that at that time. Now, I paid like doo-doo. Maybe that's why I did it in the yard. One of the reasons why I eventually ended up quitting. But you also had to use your own car. You know, they didn't give you any, you didn't get like compensated for gas or anything like that. There was none of that, okay? So hopefully you guys understand that we're on the same page. So what happens is that when you go to a house, it's under a specific listing, right? When you're going to a house, and one listing is no contact, right? No contact is don't get out your car. You're pretty much taking photos the entire time. I think I should have mentioned that. Don't go out your car. Take the pictures of the house from away from the house. So if someone's literally in the house, they won't even see you do it. It literally means you're gonna put the most minimal effort into that house. Like, and usually you're taking pictures of the front of the house, the yard. They want to see it with the condition of the yard, to see if it's been how's the upkeep, and you know, the street. So which is usually a shot of the actual street, and the street sign, which usually you don't need to be near the house to get the street sign. And yes, and sometimes, also the number of the house. So let's say you live on 123 Kashino Street, okay? So first thing I'm gonna do, most likely, as soon as I turn the block, I'm going to take a picture of the sign, like the street sign, if it's available. If not, I take another picture and I detail that, hey, there's no street sign, because you know that sometimes that happens. Sometimes they fall off or anything like that. So you just have to take it. Then I'm gonna point my camera to the middle of the road, and that's gonna be like, this is what the environment or the neighborhood or whatever looks like. This is the sign. Then I'm gonna drive up to the house, and I'm gonna take a picture of the front of the house. I'm gonna take a picture of the yard, and I'm gonna take a picture of the street number that's on the house. Usually it's on the house or on the mailbox or something of that nature, and then you're done with that type of house, right? That's pretty much the most simplest. If you get a bunch of those, that's easy money. If I had to do 50 of those a day, I would probably maybe still working the job. It's like the easiest thing in the world to do. And then the other ones are consistent of like a knock. I think I forgot what we call it, like a knock one, where you pretty much have to go up to the door and you have to make it seem as though you try to contact the person. Now, unfortunately, I was trained not to really actually knock on the door. We don't really knock on the door. What we do is that you put your fist and you take a picture of like your fist touching the door. So that means that you're just showing evidence that you were actually at the residence and you actually tried to contact the person. But most of the time, you don't have time for that. You also don't have time to actually converse with them, because I think as I explained before, you get paid per house. So I'm not sitting there trying to talk to that person. They need to contact the bank anyway. The bank is hiring me to tell you to contact them. That's the only reason why I'm there. I guess they felt this was more effective than just selling mail to the house. They actually have someone there. So some of them, they want you to go knock on the door. Then there are some that you will actually have to leave a notice on the door. Now, you do the knock as well. You have to do the knock, but you also have to then take a picture of the notice that's on the door. So let's say that This deodorant is there. So you got the finger on there, and then you got the knock. You got a picture of that, and again, all the other stuff is always standard. So you always got to take a picture of the street sign, all that stuff. You always have to do. Then there is the abandoned house. Now the abandoned house is different. That's where the doo-doo story comes in, right? But abandoned house, you have to go inside the house and take pictures of all the rooms. I think 3 shots per room. You know, the living room, the dining room. You got to take a picture of the boiler if they have one, the water valve if they have one, which is a nightmare. If you don't know the house, you don't know where the hell it is. And pretty much I think that's it. And then you take, and no matter what the house, if you see anything like neglect, water damage, especially when you're inside the house, water damage, fire damage, see mold or something like that, you have to notate that. That's what the stuff that you see. They want to know the condition of the house because they want to see, do they have to, you know, if the house is in terrible condition. I've actually, because I worked there for a little bit, I went to a house, I notated certain stuff, and then they'll actually will send people to be, yo, this house is in rough shape, and they'll come and you'll see that the mold eventually goes away, so they can say, hey. And then obviously you keep checking there. You're gonna keep going to the same house. Oh, now we see that they're actually fixing the house. There was a hole in the roof. Oh, they fixed the hole. There was mold here. They fixed the mold. You know, there's debris here. They took out the debris, and you'll know because you're assigned to the same house. You're pretty much constantly going to the same place. So now there's one where all reliable comes in, and it's a double fold, right? It's kind of a double fold. So when you go to an abandoned house, there's certain stuff that you're supposed to see on the abandoned house. One of the things that you're supposed to see on an abandoned house is something that notates that it's abandoned. Now, I think I mentioned it in the doo-doo video that I was putting something on the door, like a message that says, hey, the bank or whatever thinks that this house is abandoned. If it's not abandoned, or if you're the homeowner, let's say if you went on vacation for a while and like all your tenants left, and all of a sudden they just bounce, right? And like all of a sudden you come back and they see that the house wasn't being maintained. You can call back and be, hey, I'm the homeowner. I didn't know that it was in this condition. What can I do to get you guys off my back? XYZ, right? So that is what happens with the abandoned houses. Like, so you're always gonna see that on an abandoned house, especially if it's been abandoned for a while. You will always see that. If you do not see that, you have to put it on the door or something that it's like pretty much obvious, like pretty much so if you're driving by the house, you can visibly see it. Now, and this is a test, a little fun fact. If you guys see an abandoned house, look at the front door, and 9 times out of 10, you're gonna see like a sticker or something like that, like a white sticker. Sometimes they are different colors depending on the company, and you'll probably see a sticker that says, well, you're not gonna run up and read it unless you're really brave, and you will probably see that the house says that it's an abandoned house. Now the fun fact is, what happens if a house is not deemed abandoned and then you go there and then you think that it is abandoned? You do the same thing. Now I'm gonna put a sticker on the house, and then that person has a certain amount of time to say that, hey, this house is not abandoned, or versus they say that the house is abandoned. Now, what I'm going back to is that all those pictures that I was talking about, the street sign, if I go in the house, I gotta take pictures of the thing, all this, the water faucet, all this other nonsense. If you don't get those pictures, if you're missing one, guess who has to go back on his own dime? Like I said, I don't get paid gas. I'm using my own vehicle. If I miss a picture or anything like that, I have to go back to that place and take that picture. And I think you guys might understand where we're going with this, all right? This is the big finale. So I did a assignment, and I did an assignment. I did all the pictures, at least I had thought I did. And one of the things that they said, well, you got all the pictures. You forgot one picture though. You forgot the picture of the little white piece of paper on the door, on the door or on the front of the house. You didn't put that there. So you're gonna have to go back and you're gonna have to take a picture of that. So if you guys are really smart and if you've seen a bunch of abandoned house, I was like, fuck that. The problem is that sometimes you'll have, like, let's say you'll have 30 houses to do, right? And then the next day you'll have 2 houses or none because you already finished everything for the week. So if I'm gonna have to spend my own money to go all the way back to whatchamacallit, that is a nightmare, and it's not well advised. It's not anything that I'm trying to do. So my thought was like, what is the best way that I can find a way to do that? And I was thinking maybe I can go to an abandoned house, put the sticker on there, take a picture of it. But then I was like, I would have to go around my neighborhood because of course I wasn't working near me. They had me working like 30 or 40 minutes away from my house. So I was like, dang, I gotta find it, maybe run around, look around the neighborhood and see if there's an abandoned house that I could put a sticker on, take a picture, and then pretend like it's the same house. But then it's like, again, I don't know where the abandoned houses are in my neighborhood. I know where the abandoned houses are in the neighborhood that I was working in. So I thought, what is the next best thing? So two things popped in my head. Well, mainly just one. Is that most of the time in an abandoned house, maybe some of you guys knew the answer, that they're mostly boarded up, right? They're mostly boarded up. So usually especially if there's a break-in, they'll board up the windows, they'll board up the front door, and they usually put a lock on the front of the door. So most of the time when you are putting the sticker, especially if it's already an abandoned house and you're probably trying to find a sticker, it's usually on a boarded door. So what looks like a boarded door if you're not paying attention and you put it close enough? This right here. If you put this close enough, as you can see, you can still see the sticker that I put on there. It's like important. It's important. And it worked. It actually worked. So I took a picture so close that I don't think, you wouldn't have been necessarily able to tell the difference. So pretty much, like I said, I put it here, put it on the corner, moved my camera that I had as close as I could possible, and took the picture and then submitted that instead. Hey man, to be fair, they don't pay me. Like I said, they don't pay for my gas. I would have to have driven all the way out there to literally get out my car, walk up to the place, put a sticker on the door, and take a picture of it. If honestly, I could have put a sticker on the door and I may just have forgotten to take the picture of it. I'm not doing that. What do I look like? So no. So I hope you guys had a good laugh. It was really funny when I thought about it and it worked. And whenever I tell people, they're like, you gotta be kidding, you did not do that. I absolutely did. Well, fictional. If they see this video, then they can't prove. I could just be like, it's just a story that I told. You don't know. My friend's wife pointed out of this thing. She was using the TV dinner stand, and I was like, oh, do you know why that sticker is actually on this thing? And it was like, oh, it was because I put it there. I needed it. I needed its help, okay? And when you need help, you search out friends or TV dinner stand. Is there any time that you guys did something weird or funny to try to avoid doing something more extensive? Like, hopefully the stories are not criminal. Yeah, man, there was this one time I had to pay a bill, so I forged a check. No, hopefully you guys don't do anything crazy like that. But if you want to incriminate yourself in the comment section, feel free. But so yeah, YFOs in the comment section below. Let me know how you feel about TV dinner stand senpai helping it out. I don't even know what kind of thumbnail. Maybe I'll just put this there. But I don't want to show the sticker because then it's kind of obvious as I'm talking what it is. But this TV dinner stand right here, champion. Anywho, like, comment, subscribe, and just remember that every TV stand. Just kidding. Like, comment, subscribe, and just remember that every day at the Kashino is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.